So there are three things that we always try and come back to.
What are they?
Which is those three things that, we want to create great work. So that's about the Abbey as a powerhouse of its own in terms of what it makes, the artists who work here and all the other teams in this theatre. We want to collaborate. When we came to the Abbey 4 years ago, we very openly said we wanted the Abbey to be a more open theatre than it had been perceived as, and I think we've made inroads to that and we continue to do that. We have the collaborations in the Peacock, more of the 5x5 project, which leads us into the accessibility. Who is the Abbey for? Making the Abbey accessible to companies, to artists, to audiences. Marina Carr and Katrina McLaughlin working together on a really big piece of event theatre is a massive thing for us. For them to come together now on what will be, a real look at past, present and future of what Ireland can look like, I think it's going to be really an extraordinary experience.
The idea behind that was to look at how the crimes and the sins of one generation influence the actions of the next generation. Roisin McBrien is going to come and make a brand new version of A Taste of Honey, which is the Sheila Delaney classic from the 1950s. A real working class story of a single mother. It's an extraordinary bit of work.
Faith Healer is one of my favourite plays, and the chance to be in a building producing it is a real thrill of a lifetime, I have to say. And 40 years after his groundbreaking production, we've invited Joe Dowling back to revisit Brian Friel's masterpiece.
We should talk about This Beautiful Village because it's a play that we commissioned from Lisa Tierney-Keogh, which played in the 2019 season, a very short run, and it sold out, and it was an extraordinary moment in the theatre's history because it really spoke about patriarchy and the challenges of that. And it was a real provocation to the audiences, which is of course what the Abbey is here to do.
We've got a really exciting partnership for the first time with Irish National Opera, who are kind of a relatively new company who've done extraordinary work in their first 2 years. So we're delighted to be working with them, with our friends from Theatre Love It. This is a very different kind of lighter, well, Hansel and Gretel lighter, not sure. We're working with Corn Exchange, with Michael West and Annie Ryan and their amazing team of people to make a new show, The Fall of the Second Republic.
If we're going to make a people's theatre, we have to engage all the people, wherever you are, regardless of the money in your pocket and the gender or the sexual orientation that you have. And one of the exciting things, therefore, is to work with artists whose voice is rarely heard. And so we're really privileged to be working with John Connors on Ireland's Call. John is one of the leading voices from the travelling community and an extraordinary performer. One of the great joys and the great privileges of working at the Abbey is we get the chance to spend hours with our audience, to lower the lights every night at 7:30 and posit some complex, challenging, entertaining ideas to people.
I think it's really exciting that we're working with a lot of co-productions, especially down in the Peacock, working with Zoe Nariadon on A Shlum, also with a young Irish writer-performer called Sarah Hanley on a show called Purple Snowflakes and Tittywanks, which is a co-production with the Royal Court Theatre in London. So it's fantastic to be working with Malaprop, a really exciting, say young company, but also, it features people like younger than us. Featuring people like Dylan Coburn-Gray, of course, wrote the City Song that was in the Abbey stage this year, on their piece Everything Not Saved. Theatre is there because it takes on issues that are too complicated for other parts of society. The Abbey has been the place where the conversation has taken place, and I think this year has got a lot of potential for really exciting conversations. We're really excited to be working with Blue Teapot Company from Galway on Into the Dark Woods. Blue Teapot are a company who work with people with intellectual disability, so we're delighted that that's going to be on the Peacock stage.
We're really excited to be working with Jodie O'Neill on What I Don't Know About Autism. And one of the great things that we're able to do in that is to talk about what we do and do not know about autism and some of the myths and challenges around that.
I think we're telling great stories. Some stories look back and make you reflect, some stories will look forward. I think, great theatre, you see yourself in it. You put yourself into the heart of the story.
I think a good night out is exactly what you will get. There'll be extraordinary, challenging, funny, exciting experiences. I'm really confident that there will be, in that 12-month season, there'll be something either on tour or in the Peacock or on the Abbey stage that will excite, stimulate, delight, entertain,
Challenge.
all of those things.